Hey everybody, Noel with yesVIRTUAL, and I want to talk to you about the best ways to utilize a virtual assistant or a remote team member. The number one thing most property managers want when they're looking for help is help on the phones. We know that we can get totally saturated with phone calls coming from either leasing leads, property sales, customer service stuff, maintenance, all of those things. So a great place to put a virtual assistant when you're first starting off a point is just really handling those incoming phone calls. You really should have your maintenance, your leasing, and your customer service lines all separated so you can have the right people in those places. But a virtual assistant can really quickly learn how to answer at least 4 or 5 questions by getting into your software, telling them when their lease is due, how much they owe, if a work order's been opened, all of those types of things. So getting them on the phones right away is a great way to relieve pressure off of you and your staff. And that's the number one thing people usually ask for when they check us out. Okay guys, episode 2 on how to utilize your virtual assistant or remote team member. Maintenance coordination. So this is a daily thing that you and your staff are having to deal with as a property manager. Maintenance never goes away. It's always going to be there, and there's always at least a couple of work orders open. So it's a great place to implement a virtual assistant by allowing them to jump in the middle of the process by either doing follow-ups with vendors and tenants, helping coordinate scheduling, maybe even doing basic troubleshooting when that first initial work order is open. You can have them making adjustments to the work order, closing them out, even doing the invoicing within your property management software. So there's plenty of places to fit in your virtual assistant in that maintenance process. That process is never going to go away, especially during certain times of the year. You really get spikes in work orders, and it's a great place to utilize that help to help your team stay above water. And someone who's looking to hire a virtual assistant or a remote team member is the general admin tasks that come along with being a property manager. We all know as property managers, we have HomeQwik here in Phoenix. There's literally 100 different things that a property manager might have to do throughout the day, whether it's invoicing, running a lease renewal report, an insurance audit, entering a new owner, entering a new lease, setting up utilities, doing follow-ups with maintenance people, any of the data entry type stuff, even sending out portal messages, rent collection notes for late payments, all of those things that can be done on a computer that just drag down your high-level staff's time. Great place to put a virtual assistant or remote team member. I hate to call it the grunt work, but it is the stuff that needs to get done every single day that there's no reason your higher level problem solvers need to deal with. Let a remote team member handle it for you. After dark. So another great way to implement a virtual assistant or a remote team member is by handling your closed for business phone calls and issues, right? No one wants to have to answer the phone after office hours, especially on the weekend or in the holidays. So our program is called After Dark, and it's a great place to engage a virtual assistant or a remote team member, whether it's a customer service call that comes in, a work order request, or especially in those cases where it's a true emergency. Having virtual assistants or remote team members in place to deal with this will really alleviate that stress on your team and your staff so that they don't have to be on the call 24/7. So you can have these people available to answer those calls after hours, reach out as needed to a vendor or a tenant in a true emergency, and at least just answer the phone so that people know they can reach your company. I love being able to advertise that we answer our phones 24/7. Can you? Okay guys, last thing that we are implementing new for us is having a virtual assistant and that remote team member assist with transaction coordination. So I'm a real estate broker here in Arizona, and I know that as that sale is going along, we really need someone that's on top of the documents, the time frames, reaching out to title, reaching out to inspectors, all of those things, making sure the appraisal is orders, all of the things that come along with the real estate transaction. If you're handling your own transaction coordination now, how much time are you spending doing that when you could be doing other things? So last but not least, great place to implement that virtual assistant is handing over those real estate transactions. We're going to be working with Lead Simple, at least that's how we're training on our end, because that's a system that I use, and they've got a great program in the back end that can handle your transaction coordination process very simply.